Hello. So recently, the House of Representatives in the United States passed a bill to federally decriminalize the recreational use of cannabis or marijuana. So I wanted to take a look because, I'm not really super savvy on the political. I took a poli-sci class in college, one of the three classes that I took before I decided it wasn't for me. So I basically, I have basic, schoolhouse rock knowledge of how a bill becomes a law. So I, but the details, I don't keep up with current events in the whole political arena because, it's just full of drama and I'm not about that. So what I'd like to do is take a look at what may be coming up next for this possibility of the ability to allow free thinkers to live their lives without repercussions, and see like what kind of is in store. So if you're not really familiar, my basic knowledge of how this works is the House of Representatives passes it, it goes on to the Senate. If the Senate approves it, then it, I believe, goes to the president to just sign off on. Now, we know under the current circumstances that our current president is not about that, and that probably won't go very far. And if I'm not mistaken, if the Senate changes before it gets to them, they have to start over with the House again. I think. I'm not, like, if one of you guys is very up on that shit, like, leave details, clarify things for me. What I want to look at is the overall how this is going to turn out. We'll look specifically at Senate. We'll look specifically at the president influence on the decision, and then also what the implications are for the general public and the United States and how that's going to affect the overall energy of the country, and then maybe look at globally. Let's see how long this takes and what we get. So let's get started. So first I want to look at the Senate. What does it look like if this House bill goes to Senate? What is the Senate reaction? Okay. 4 cards is what I'm getting here. Oh. Okay. Okay, now this is pretty interesting. Let's move this down. This is pretty interesting to me. So we have 3 reversals. We have 2 major arcanas. And then we also have a court card, a king here. So I feel like this is kind of a big deal. But I feel like it's going to be an easy decision. There's no tossing up options. This is reversed, so I feel like this is not an indecisive thing. They already know what they would do. The moon being reversed, again, clarity. So the moon in its upright position would be indicating something not being as it seems, or there being some type of mystery surrounding something. It also talks about dreams, but with it being reversed, I feel like this is clarity. So there's already a clear answer here. But I do want to point out the King of Wands being reversed kind of is telling me that it's like there's a person kind of in charge. Now it is a king, it's not the emperor, it's not a major arcana card. It's a king who is a leader, but not the leader, if that makes sense to you. So I kind of feel like it's I'm hearing the crown's upside down. The crown. Okay, so the crown is upside down, but look at, like, I don't know what this article of clothing is supposed to be, but does that not look like a crown, an even bigger crown than the crown that's on his head? So I'm being drawn to the crown. Okay, crown chakra is popping up. I don't know what. We'll see if that comes in. But what I see with them being reversed is that the person who's in charge is not in charge. So this could be because we're talking specifically about Senate. I feel like whoever's in the Senate is, dethroned. I mean, I know it's not a throne, but, it's king throne. Um, being dethroned, and another crown, like a replacement crown. So what I'm kind of getting for the Senate part of this is that it is going to change, um, who is seated at the Senate is going to change. It's like a reversal, a replacement. That's kind of what I get there. But so not knowing the exact details of how the process works, sorry. I just was not into politics or any of the government stuff in school. Still not. So some people love it. I'm not interested in. I honestly, what I feel like is that it's all going to change anyways. It's not going to last forever. So why get attached? I'm not attached to the way things are run. So anyways, what I kind of feel like is happening is that it is going to change. Like it's going to be a different Senate, which I think means that it has to go through the House again. Not sure about that. But what I do see with the chariot here at the end being upright, this is about overcoming an obstacle. This is about, okay, if you also see like the cross here with the shield, health and wellness. So I really kind of feel like it ends up going through Senate ultimately. Now, whether or not they need to go back to the House, I'm not sure if that's actually how it works. I could be wrong. I feel like it does end up, it may be a delay of some sort, but I don't see delays here. I do feel like it does end up ultimately going through Senate. I feel like it overcomes some obstacles. We're going to have naysayers and the pro advocates, I feel like, represented here with the black horse and the white horse, which comes like to me as in the Western movies, the bad guy had the black hat and the good guy had the white hat, which I know has way deeper implications, but that's kind of how it presents itself to me as, the opposites here, the light and the dark. Okay. Like our light workers and our shadow workers kind of coming together. It's kind of the similar energy of that. Like, we have the pro and con end up kind of coming together to overcome something. And I'm really drawn to the fact that this is related to wellness. My stance, not to get like opinionated here, my stance is that the more legal things are for it, the more research can be done. And I do feel like there are a lot of benefits, but just like anything that has benefits, there of course will be side effects. There of course will be other things that are associated that are not so positive. But it's like an informed decision kind of situation. You get second opinions from doctors on health related stuff. Kind of in the same vein, it's like, we need the research to back it. We need funding for research for one thing, but we also need it not to be stigmatized and illegal so that it can be accessed and researched properly. But I do feel like there is a wellness factor involved here, and it does ultimately, I feel like, help humanity, basically bringing the light and dark together. This could also represent the bipartisan things that are going on like all over, but in other subjects. But I feel like that kind of represents them coming together. So that's kind of what I got for Senate here. I kind of want to look a little bit deeper. I'm going to clarify some of these cards. Can we please see what this Two of Pentacles is here for? There's a Page of Wands. Okay. So yeah, I think something's learned, and that's why, because the Page is a student, the Page is young. I feel like also it may be indicating that there will be a younger Senate age-wise. That could be the case here. That kind of brings in a new outlook or a new younger take on things. I feel like that kind of has to do with why it's why it's more clear cut, why it's more or less of weighing options and more of, yes, okay, I'm taking a stand. This is what, this is how we want to do things now. This is our thing going forward. You guys are on your way out, we're on the way in, and this is how we want to do things. So I feel like it's a little bit more decisive that way, and I think it has to do with something to do with the age of the people. This is definitely pulling in youth for me. But yes, and like, okay, I'm getting a handing off of the baton. Like, he's trying to hand that to someone. Like, he's passing the baton. So yeah, like, or he's taking the baton, it's being passed to him. Okay, that makes sense. Why is this moon card reversed? Why is this moon card here reversed? Seven of Cups. Okay, because we've had too many options that nobody knows which direction to go. The Seven of Cups for me feels like indecisiveness, but hyper indecisiveness, having too many options and feeling kind of frozen at the thought of choosing. So I feel like that, yeah, I feel like that's kind of interesting, because I really see this as clarity and this is clouded indecision. So let me get another card for this Seven of Cups and Moon, please. Six of Pentacles reversed, so that's about generosity. So there is going to be, okay, there's going to be a financial factor. That's what needs to be clarified. So it's more about, not necessarily about it being clear, but there are things that need to be clarified. Okay, that's what I'm kind of getting now for that. That makes sense too. Sorry, virtual learning mishap, but I'm back. So I kind of feel like it's more about gaining a clarity. A clarity becomes obvious, but it needs some work still, I feel like. Okay, let's see why this King of Wands is here. What is this King of Wands doing? Okay. So, yeah. It's kind of like not really a celebration, but something official, something, okay, I heard the word certified, something, again, that could be with the changing of the guard, that there's some type of exchange or ceremony of sorts. So I feel like that's kind of clarifying that, or validating that it's more about the crown changing or somebody else coming in, or a replacement. And I don't think we really need clarification on that Chariot card. So that's what I see for, it being in the Senate, going through the Senate, or what have you. I think ultimately it does. All right, so let's see. I mean, it's probably going to take some time. And I was told that the card shuffling is too loud, so it could have been because my voice was too soft. I don't know. I'm moving the cards away. All right, so let's look at, when this bill gets to the president, what should we know about that? 3 cards. Okay. I feel like this is kind of also hinting at a changing of guards here. So the Temperance card is patience and can be healing, but mostly patience and going slow and measured. I'm getting the word measured movements. The Five of Pentacles being kind of like left out or not included or down and out. And then with the Eight of Cups reversed, I feel like this is coming into something. So the Eight of Cups would be leaving behind something that was meaningful. But here we're looking at the opposite, it coming in or coming into something. So I kind of still like the fives to me are change. I feel like there's a shift here that kind of happens, and it's not going to be great at first. I just feel like this is definitely going to take a lot more time than we thought. Waiting it out. Something about waiting it out. So maybe we do need to wait until we have somebody new come in. So I feel like that's kind of what's going to happen with our current president. Let's pull 2 cards for current president. And let's look at the incoming, another page. Would you look at that? And then another reversed 6. That's interesting. So do you see what I'm seeing here? I see this page walking away and this page coming in. And then these 2 are both reversed. So I feel like the Queen of Wands is not afraid to get her hands dirty, but still, rules with that feminine, nurturing aspect of herself. And I see, okay, current president walking away from that, walking away from this kind of caring, powerful thing. Like, he's going in the opposite direction there. And then we have kind of our new president walking in, the 6 of Cups representing, your past memories, things like that. Having it reversed, I feel like this is coming into a new future. This is less past. We're not basing it on the past. We're going to look for new results. So I feel like if it were to come in, it would depend. I feel like there's a changing here. It would depend greatly on who's in that seat. This one's going to walk away and say, no, thank you. And this one's going to say, let's see what we can find out. Let's see how we can bring this going forward on a different level. So kind of that's what I see from as far as a presidency, looking at this particular bill. But yeah, it did take them a year from writing the bill to even be looked at in the House. And I feel like they kind of did look at it just to distract from making a decision on other things. So not getting too political there. All right, so that's what we have for the presidency. So let's see what it looks like for the U.S. as a whole. Let's go with the fact that it will get passed, okay? Hypothetical. Okay, getting something here to do both possibilities. So Spirit says look at both. Okay, so I'm going to do kind of like a tree triangle, and either what happens if it does go through and what happens if it doesn't. What happens if it does go through? What happens if it doesn't? Interesting. Okay. Can you see all of those? All right. So if it does go through, so we have the 7 of Swords here. Try and show you like the words, but whatever. We have the 7 of Swords, and oddly enough, we have the 7 of Wands over here. Somebody's making noise in my backyard. Just the mail truck. So if it does happen, if it does go through, it gets passed, and we're looking at our country, or I'm in the U.S., so my country. What happens if it gets passed? This is kind of about like being deceived. It's not going to be Okay, so I feel like there's some kind of deception around it. So maybe there's something in the like a rider, or what do they call it when they like add non-related stuff to something and get it passed? I feel like there's some of that going on that ends up not being very good for the country. But then we have the Lovers here, which is a partnership. So I feel like it creates a partnership, and I'm not sure how accurate I am, but I am pretty sure that looks like 2 girls to me. So I feel like it allows for more freedom of choice, and that kind of stuff. We have, like, it does give off some hippie vibes, if I'm, like, this gives off some hippie vibes, which match the subject matter. I feel like there's going to be some things that are like that come forward that we're like, well, shit, well, maybe we shouldn't have done that. But I feel like ultimately this feels very positive. The positives I'm getting are going to outweigh any negatives that come along with it. Anything that is hiding, okay, coattails, this is his coat hiding, whatever. Something that's kind of hiding in there, in the bill, or the things that come to pass because it's past. I feel like ultimately the good outweighs the love wins. Love wins in this case. So I feel like maybe there's an aspect of this that does help with gender equality or um, LGBTQIA plus rights. I do feel like that overall it's positive. We also have the Page of Cups here reversed, which would be relating to emotions and new. Like, I feel like we go back to basics. I feel like it's not new. Okay, this is coming up for me. The term new age is not really new age, but more of going back to the old ways where we used the moon to guide our harvests and that sort of thing. I feel like it's not new. It's going back to the old ways and an old natural way of doing things. And I'm sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. It is lunchtime. But yeah, so I feel like there may be a little bit of something hidden in there that's going to come to pass if it gets passed that you know may be less desirable, but ultimately I feel like it's kind of us going back to our roots, and having a little bit more of a hippie kind of nomadic lifestyle, where we care for each other, and this partnership, it's like a coming together here and divinely guided at that with this angel up there in the clouds. So let's look at what if it doesn't pass. What's going to happen if it doesn't pass? And we have the Seven of Wands here, which talks about being defensive in conflict and being ready to fight. Not necessarily a fight, but being ready to fight. We also have this Four of Pentacles here, which it's not a court card. It's not necessarily royalty, but he is wearing a crown, and the Four of Pentacles is like the miser card. This is the, not being able to let go. This is mine, not willing to share. I feel like we get like a very animosity style of living in the US, very like selfish, money oriented kind of society here. But we also have the World card, which for me can mean that it's getting everything that you've asked for. But in this case, with the pentacles, all the circles here, I feel like it's more of the ending of a cycle. It's coming to the end of something. And I feel like it has a more global impact than we think. Okay, this is more global. So I feel like on a global scale, a more selfish and confrontational kind of vibe comes to be. We're very much worried about money here, where on the flip side, if it gets approved, I feel like we're more love based, we're more connection based. And if it doesn't get passed, we're back to capitalist nightmare. And I feel like it would affect us globally, not just in the US. It takes it a step further. So let's take a look at overall, on a humanity scale, what we're looking at if this gets passed, and if it doesn't get passed. I'm going to do the same thing. All right. Global scale, please. What it looks like if it gets passed and not passed. All right. On a global scale, if it gets passed, there's that King of Wands reversed again. Two of Swords and the Knight of Wands. And if it doesn't pass globally, the Knight reversed, the High Priestess, and the Four of Swords. Okay, so the first thing that I want to say is the High Priestess is coming off very secretive. There are secrets she's the keeper of secrets. She's kind of hiding the scroll, and I'm not really wanting to get into what the scroll supposedly represents. Some say it's an old scripture. Others I've seen equate it to the Emerald Tablets. Google it. But not to get too into that meaning of it. Just overall, I feel like secrets. So if it gets passed, we have the king overthrown here again. Overthrown. Huh. That's an interesting word choice. Overthrown. He gets overthrown, which means taken off the throne. But I like overthrown. There's something to that, and it might come up later. I don't know. But if you are getting something from me saying that, I love it when you guys add your own intuition in the comments. It just helps everyone be a better reader. But what am I getting? If you get something from the term overthrown and what I said about the king being reversed before, if you get anything, let me know. But I'm really getting something strong there. So with it being approved on this side, we have new leadership. Okay, it's again, the Two of Swords is also about making a decision, but I feel like with it being reversed, we're not blindly making a decision. This is an informed decision. So this is something that is, determined. I'm getting like determined energy. Also from all of the wands on this side, we become more determined as a race. Things become more clear. It is easier to make decisions, and our leadership changes. The way we look at leadership. The way we look at leadership changes. We have the Knight of Wands down here, which is movement. He is all about taking action. The knights, the different knights represent how fast-paced a movement is. He's not on his horse, but typically the Knight of Wands is on the faster side. But he's not on the horse. It's going to be a process, but there is movement, and don't be afraid to take action. We will become a more spiritually, also spirit represented here with the wands, more motivated, more spiritually motivated, to move on from where we're at now as the human race, as a species. So if it doesn't get passed, I've already talked about the secrets here. We have this Knight of Pentacles reversed. That's not that we're stuck. This is some stuck, stagnant energy. We're stuck in our secrets, eyes closed, not moving forward. The Four of Swords is about rest. It can also be about meditation. I get that a lot from it. I feel like this is more about just not wanting to take action, which is kind of funny because they say the people who use this product are lazy and don't take action. So I feel like it's kind of ironic that it's on the reading of what happens if we don't pass this. For our humanity, and it's kind of like we don't move, we're stuck. This is very stuck. There are secrets, and I feel like it's more of not wanting things to be revealed, so we're like, we're gonna clamp that down, and we're gonna shut that box, and we're gonna lock it, and we're not gonna talk about this stuff anymore. So I feel like there's just a stuck energy, whereas if it gets passed, I feel like humanity progresses, which I know it's just one little country, but everybody's looking at our country right now for other reasons. So it could definitely, what our country makes as a decision can definitely affect globally and the whole of our species. So that's kind of what I get for that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like it might end up going that way. If you want to see more, and maybe when it comes to the next stage, I'll do another reading. But yeah, if you like this reading and you like reading about weird, odd shit like this, and check out the channel. I'll try and remember to put some little boxes of other videos and stuff for you to watch if this interests you. So also make sure you hit subscribe if that's the case. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day.